Hi, my name is Anthony Butler. I am the creator of Primal Storytelling, and this is the fourth video in this series. We're going to go over the third part of the Primal Storytelling formula, and so you can get more direct bookings through content for your property. Now look, this one is story. Now story is bigger. I'm not talking about writing an epic novel. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is telling the ongoing story of your property. The story of when people are there, what are they doing? How are they feeling? How are they interacting with the world around them? And what does that make, how does that make them feel? Okay. When I think of story, I want you to think of 7 seasons of your favorite Netflix special, and in each season, there's 20 episodes. So we're talking about 100+ episodes. We're going to create content over the course of a long period of time, and it's going to relate back to what we think of as a value theme. Okay, now remember back in the first video, and I was talking about this content constellation, okay? For each of the tribes that you defined, and you define their demographics and psychographics, what you're going to do is you're going to think of what are their interests? What are the things that are around your hotel, around your property, that they want to do, that they might be interested in? Is it fine dining? Is it fast food? Is it, walking tours? Maybe it's going on like an excursion of some sort. Okay, there's lots of different things, okay? And different parts of the year, you can focus on different kinds of things to do. Like, I'll give you an example. One that we did in New York City was we were brainstorming things to do for a family that was taking a weekend vacation in New York City, but in the wintertime, and they got little kids with them. So what we did is we came up with 10 places you could get hot chocolate in the Lower East Side of New York City. Okay, you'd be shocked how much hot chocolate is there. And that piece did really well, and lots of families downloaded it and then stayed in the hotel because they knew they could walk from the hotel and they could go to this place and get a hot chocolate and visit a museum and get on the subway, and everything was convenient for them, and it was going to be safe and protected. We brought in those nice primal urges that we knew that they were worried about. Okay, how you're going to do this for your property is get a map, you put a pen in the map, and you're going to draw a circle. Okay, and around that circle, what you're going to do is you're going to brainstorm everything there is to do, and what has to do with the convenience of doing it. So transportation, costs, is it food, is it shelter, is it clothing? Maybe there's good shopping. When we think of the primal urge of clothing, it's the clothes that you wear, but it's also the prestige. It's primal shopping. People love to buy a really high-end bag that's this big and costs thousands of dollars because of what it says to the world. All right. And you're going to brainstorm all of those things. They don't have to have anything to do with your property. And then you're going to look for other activities and companies especially, that they're blogging about things and they're writing about things, that's going on. So you're going to look at entertainment, restaurants, shopping, all these destination kind of things. And then break them up into segments of interest to each of your target markets, okay? Now, when we think of story, there's a few things you want to put together with these long tail value themes, is that we need to have a narrative voice, and then we also want to choose a story structure that we're going to use over and over again. Now, I think for a lot of companies that are doing this for the first time, I'm not going to go into all the primal storytelling structures. That's a whole nother course that we have. But I think the one that you want to use is the mentor, where you're writing from the perspective of you're trying to help someone, trying to give them advice to go on a great vacation. They can go and they can have a really, really good time. And however that is defined for them in their segment. Now, when we're given this advice, we're going to add it to a story structure. And that structure it's a journey. Now, think about the journey that they're going on. So they leave wherever they are. They travel by planes, trains, automobiles, however they got to where you are. than the moment they walk in your door. And then their entire stay and the adventures that they go on. And then when they're leaving and they're checking out and they're traveling back home to where they're from, okay? That entire journey is part of this idea. And what I'm going to try to do is I want to create content around each of the parts of the journey so that I have an entire constellation of content around before, during, and after the trip so that they connect and they are able to fulfill those primal urges and those emotions. So that what you want is when they go home after a trip, staying at your property, you want them to rave about the neighborhood, the property, the people, so that they have a story that they're telling over and over again, and your property is included in that story, okay? And what we're gonna do is create the content, and so that as they're thinking about the story they wanna tell, you're included in it. And you're gonna publish that across all these different assets. So on your social media platform, and then driving it all back to your website, okay? Very simple process, 3 big steps. Those steps, they can include a lot of things. If you have any questions, please reach out, DM me. Another thing, if you want to come back to our website, I have an agency website. We do this for companies. If you don't want to do this on your own, it's called Can Do Ideas. You can click a link in the end. You'll find us and learn more about Primal Storytelling and how it applies to getting more direct bookings. Okay, I'm Anthony, and I am the creator of Primal Storytelling, and good luck to you on your journey.